What if the very thing you are, like, running away from is the exact thing you need to survive?
It's a pretty wild thought. Right.
I mean, we spend our entire lives trying to life hack our way out of pain,
Oh, absolutely.
curating the perfect aesthetic, building this impenetrable armor. We want an algorithm for happiness, basically.
Yeah, we try to implement these, 10-step morning routines.
Yes, or productivity systems,
Right.
secretly hoping they'll just guarantee we never feel lost or rejected or out of control.
Which is impossible, obviously.
Exactly. Okay, let's unpack this, because we are looking at a really good TED Talk today by Brené Brown.
Yeah, the power of vulnerability. It is iconic.
It really is. And the data she presents fundamentally dismantles this entire illusion of control. So, just a heads up, we aren't looking at fluffy self-help platitudes in this deep dive.
No, not at all.
This is rigorous neurobiological data about the messy reality of being human. And it basically suggests our modern obsession with perfection is exactly what's making us so profoundly miserable.
Yeah, because the human instinct to build that armor is just incredibly deep-seated. I mean, we want to quantify everything.
Right.
Because what we can measure, we feel like we can predict and manage.
Exactly, yeah.
And that is the fundamental premise of academic research, which is actually what makes Brené Brown such a fascinating vessel for this information.
Because she was so resistant to it at first.
Exactly. She spent her career as a qualitative researcher, collecting, thousands of interviews, journal pages, focus group notes.
Right, just swimming in data.
Yeah, and she operated entirely on the belief that basically if you cannot measure it, it does not exist.
Which I find her initial resistance to her own findings so relatable.
Oh, same here.
She wanted to take the chaos of human emotion, clean it up, and organize it into a neat little bento box.
Bento box, yes, that is the perfect way to describe it.
Everything in its perfect compartmentalized place. Nothing touching.
Right.
And I know I do this. I mean, I will literally download 5 different habit trackers.
Oh, totally.
And spend hours agonizing over my weekly calendar just so I don't have to sit in the quiet and actually feel the underlying anxiety of not knowing what I'm doing with my life.
Yeah, it's just a distraction.
It is. It's my modern bento box.
What's fascinating here is how that bento box metaphor really highlights the human instinct to try and control things. But that control is totally at odds with the unpredictable nature of actual human emotion.
Right. You can't life hack your feelings.
No, you can't. And Brown ran into a massive problem when she started examining her data. There's this great story she tells about an event planner.
Oh, I love this part.
Right. So an event planner calls her and is hesitating to label her a researcher on the program because people might find it boring.
Because, researchers are so dull.
Exactly. So the planner suggests calling her a storyteller instead.
And Brown was not having it.
She scoffed at it initially, but she eventually realized, wait, I actually am a researcher-storyteller.
Which is such a cool title.
It really is. And that shift is crucial because she came to this powerful conclusion that stories are really just data with a soul.
Data with a soul. Wow.
Yeah, and you cannot shove data with a soul into a sterile, compartmentalized bento box.
So she sets out to measure the most fundamental human experience, which is connection.
Right.
Because from her background in social work, the one undeniable truth she found was that connection is quite literally why we are here.
It's how we're neurobiologically wired.
Exactly. But her attempt to neatly study connection goes completely sideways almost immediately.
Well, yeah, because you cannot study connection without studying the thing that unravels it entirely.
Right, the messy stuff.
Exactly. When she asked people about love and belonging, they only told her stories about heartbreak and exclusion.
That's so telling.
It really is. It led her to a 6-week realization about this underlying bug in the system, and that phenomenon is shame.
Ugh. Just the word makes me cringe.
Right, and she defines shame very specifically in her research. She says it is the fear of disconnection.
So what does this all mean? If everyone has this, are you telling me that literally everyone is just walking around secretly terrified they're going to be unmasked as frauds?
Yes, the data is unequivocal on this. It is a universal feeling.
Wait, literally everyone, like the hyper-confident CEO or the flawless influencer with millions of followers?
Everyone. The only people who do not experience shame are individuals who completely lack the capacity for human empathy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, if you have empathy, you feel shame. It's that internal voice asking, is there something about me that if other people know it or see it, I won't be worthy of connection?
Okay, that makes sense. It just looks different for different people.
Exactly. For the CEO, it might be, I'm not successful enough. For the influencer, it's, I'm not relevant enough.
Or thin enough or smart enough.
Right. But beneath all of it, the core fear of I am not enough is identical.
Yeah.
And the thing about shame is that it requires silence. It thrives on no one wanting to talk about it.
So we're all just wearing masks.
Yeah, and that's why true connection is so rare. Connection requires allowing ourselves to be truly seen, which is excruciatingly vulnerable. Connection can't attach to a mask.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Because if shame is universal and vulnerability is terrifying, how do some people still manage to find deep connection?
Right, that was her next big question.
Because she expanded a one-year project into 6 years of thousands of stories. And she divided her subjects into those who felt a strong sense of love and belonging and those who struggled for it.
And you'd think the difference would be like financial stability or a secure attachment style.
Right, exactly. But the only variable separating them was this. The people with love and belonging simply believed they were worthy of it.
Just believe they were worthy.
Yeah. She literally grabbed a manila folder, a Sharpie, and labeled these people the wholehearted.
The wholehearted. I love that term.
It's amazing. And they shared specific traits. They had the courage to be imperfect.
Which is so hard to do.
Super hard. But she notes the etymology of courage, from the Latin word cor, meaning heart. It originally meant to tell the story of who you are with your whole heart.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, they let go of who they thought they should be in order to be who they actually are. But the irony is that discovering this truth gave brené, the ultimate researcher trying to control things, a literal breakdown.
Oh, yeah, a breakdown, or as her therapist called it, a spiritual awakening.
Right. She went to therapy with a list, demanding strategies to fix it without talking about her childhood.
She wanted the bento box version of therapy.
Exactly.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, what she realizes is that vulnerability wasn't described by the wholehearted as comfortable or even excruciating. It was just necessary.
Just necessary.
Yeah, they believed that what made them vulnerable made them beautiful.
So if the data proves vulnerability is the key to a wholehearted life, why do we treat it like a year-long street fight?
Well, because our default defense mechanism is to numb it. We live in a highly vulnerable world.
Yeah, we really do.
We're constantly waiting for a doctor to call or getting laid off or asking someone out. And as a result, we are the most in-debt, obese, addicted, and medicated adult cohort in history.
That is just a staggering statistic.
It really is. We try to numb the hard stuff. Grief, shame, fear. She jokes about numbing it with a couple of beers and a banana nut muffin.
Right, which sounds harmless, but it's really not. Like, my banana nut muffin isn't actual food. My numbing habit is doom scrolling for 3 hours.
Oh, absolutely.
Or constantly playing background noise just so I don't have to sit in silence with my own thoughts.
Because that silence is where the anxiety lives. But here is the crucial takeaway from her research. You cannot selectively numb emotion.
Meaning, you can't just turn off the bad stuff.
Exactly. Human emotion doesn't have separate toggle switches. When you numb the dark feelings, you inadvertently numb joy. You numb gratitude. You numb happiness.
Well, that's a dangerous trap.
It is a vicious cycle. We numb so we don't feel the bad, but then we don't feel the good either.
So we feel miserable and empty.
Right. And then we search for purpose, which makes us feel vulnerable again.
And we go right back to the banana nut muffin or the doom scrolling.
Yep. Right back to the numbing.
Wow.
And we also try to cope by making uncertain things certain.
Yes, she talked about this, like extreme political polarization.
Exactly. There's no discourse anymore, just blame. People think they're right. Everyone else is an idiot.
Because sitting with the vulnerability of not knowing the answer is too uncomfortable.
Precisely. And then there's the perfectionism side of it. Putting fat from our butts into our cheeks, as she says, or perfecting our kids to get them into Yale by 7th grade.
Which is so unfair to the kids.
This raises an important question, though. If we are numbing our joy away in an attempt to protect ourselves from shame, how do we break the cycle?
Right. How do we actually raise a generation equipped for this messy world?
Well, if numbing doesn't work and perfecting ourselves doesn't work, we're left with some really practical takeaways from the data.
Okay, I'm ready.
The alternative to numbing is letting ourselves be deeply and vulnerably seen.
Which sounds terrifying.
It is. It means practicing gratitude and joy even in moments of terror. Reframing the fear by saying, I'm just so grateful because to feel this vulnerable means I'm alive.
To feel this vulnerable means I'm alive. That completely flips the script.
Doesn't it? It ultimately all rests on the importance of believing I'm enough.
Just, I've enough.
Yeah. Operating from a place of I'm enough allows us to stop screaming, start listening, and be kinder to ourselves and others.
It's so profound. I mean, we start this journey, this deep dive, wanting a neat bento box to hack our way around life.
Yeah, the easy way out.
But the messy reality of the wholehearted is the only actual way forward.
Exactly.
So as we wrap up, I want to leave you with a final thought. We've talked a lot about the bento box today. Think about your own carefully curated digital life.
The profiles, the aesthetics.
Right? All the things we meticulously designed so we could be seen. If true connection requires total vulnerability and letting go of who we think we should be, how much of your curated digital life is actually the exact thing keeping you profoundly disconnected from one another?